Hi, good evening, everybody. Scott McCrae here, Shaklee Ambassador in Lakewood, Colorado, here in this blustery Colorado 70-degree day in December. Bizarre. Just wanted to make sure that got on the record for this call when it gets recorded. But let's get into what maybe the environment is feeling right now. Stressed. We had a call last week that talked specifically about the issue of stress and the human condition of stress. So let's dive into what solutions does Shackley propose are good options for somebody who is dealing with stress, somebody you may know, it could be even you. And as we get into the holiday season, this is where some people set expectations very high, getting ready for parties, all that type of stuff. And it could very much be you right now. So here we go. We'll bring up some slides and we'll get going. As you know, these product talks are specific around the latest What's New newsletter publication. If you are not on that periodical, comes from the Shackley field, let the person know who invited you on this call so that you can get on this newsletter. It's a fantastic amount of information. And I want to make sure that it's also spoon fed through these programs so that you get a chance to dive in deep, ask questions, and see what's really going on with these publications that are coming out once a month. So last week we talked a little bit about what stress is. I'm just going to touch on a few key points to get us back into the mindset of where we were at a week ago, that stress is an impactful force on the entire body. It's not just mental, it is also physical, or vice versa. Not just physical, it is a mental impact for our health. So it's more than just feeling that you've got too much on your plate. It really is producing that fight or flight response that comes from way back when we were getting chased by saber-toothed tigers, right? It's part of the human genome and our sequencing. It is just something that was built for us to survive. So it triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone, and that hormone is is absolutely imperative to have it. Life depends on it. It's just not great when we have it all the time. And when you're under stress, that is what can create that situation where cortisol is constantly being produced in your body. So that elevated cortisol. Cholesterol is another night, people, just so you know. Cortisol, when it's elevated in the body chronically, then you're most likely to be experiencing any of the below, right? Anxiety, irritability, digestive problems, tired all the time, not sleeping well, or just overall inflammation in the body. Cortisol is the hormone that is produced when your body is under duress to put you back into control, but it is kind of like a wrecking ball in a China shop. When your energy and your metabolism starts to decline because of stress, then you'll feel that by being tired all the time. The mitochondria in our cells, these are the little power factories in our cells, do not work as efficiently when you're under stress and there are high cortisol levels in your body. It also impacts your immune function. So you're more prone to getting sick or developing maybe perhaps a more serious problem in the body over a long period of time. I think we all deal with acute stress every once in a while. And we're going to talk about some of the tools that Shackley has. Sometimes acute stress will turn into chronic stress. It also affects the way our digestive system works. So keep in mind that stress is kind of a whole body kind of thing. And of course, we talked about your sleep and irritability. These are all factors that we're looking out for. If you are stressed, you are likely experiencing one of these symptoms. But not all stress is the same for all people, right? It doesn't affect everybody the exact same way. Great pictures, right? But there's some common stress patterns that it can show up in people. So mental and emotional stress, it can be nutrient depletion stress, it can be digestive stress, and it can be just the daily tension and overload. So Shaklee addresses these not from just a one-size-fits-all solution for everybody. We have products that will attack it from different angles for the way different people experience stress symptoms. So, of course, Shaklee sets the highest bar in quality control for our supplementation. So I have absolutely no hesitation in recommending these to people who are under some type of duress and stress in their life, and they need to get it under control. So number one, nutritionally, that you can do is your B vitamins. B vitamins, I'll talk a little bit about what they do. I actually have a call I've done on just all the Bs and went into depth with those. I'm not going to go that deep, but I will say that it is the one well, there are 8 B vitamins, and they're all different, and they just get them clumped together and classified as B vitamins. One thing that's very similar about them is they're all water soluble. So, um, 3 particular are responsible for the energy production in our body. The others help with the metabolism and the creation of cells. So they're very important, but our body cannot hold on to them because they are water soluble. So you constantly need to be replenishing them through your diet. And if you're not getting the right type of intake in B vitamins in your diet, then you're likely deficient in one of these 8. So fascinating little thing about Shaklee's B complex is they've been put into a formulation to be completely in balance with each other. Sometimes you'll ask people if they're using B vitamins, they say, well, I use B12 and that's it. Like, okay, that's putting your body out of balance. The Bs are relatable in that sense. And that's why Shaklee does a B complex and we don't focus on one of the particular Bs in our products. So B complex, it supports that energy production, right? Those mitochondria in our cells need the fuel to start that energy process, and that comes from our food. And B complex is the link between the two. It also is for nervous system function. So everything in our that's going on from our brain down our spinal cord and into all the nerve endings, Bs play a big part on that. In fact, if you are deficient in Bs, your body will steal them from your nervous system to keep your levels up for other means in the body. So keep that in mind. And neurotransmission, these are the brain chemicals made for making us happy, our clarity, that type of stuff. It comes from that. If you're interested in neurotransmission, you should, on a side note, look into our lecithin product. That is also good for neurotransmission. So from the What's New newsletter, some of the key takeaways from there is that Shaklee's B complex is at least, but in many cases much more, of all the 8 essential B vitamins in balance with each other. And they can be kind of whittled away in a daily routine through stress, poor sleep, medications, sugar, alcohol, all take and steal away our B vitamins. And because they're water soluble, you cannot hold on to them again. So it's best for people who are feeling run down and tired, mentally foggy, losing that clarity. So just wanted to chuck this out there so you kind of understand what the 8 Bs are in B complex, or the only 8 Bs. Oddly, there used to be 12, fun fact, but scientifically they found that B4, 8, 10, and 11 were not even vitamins. So they chucked those out and they still kept them. So that's why we have a B12, but we don't have anything in between, in case you're wondering where that comes from. But thiamine, riboflavin, niacin are all for energy creation, really. That is, I'm oversimplifying it. But uh, pyridoxine and cobalamin or cobalamin, those two are responsible for nerve function, biotin for skin, nail, hair function, and folate or folic acid. Well, this is important for Shaklee B complex, but our folic acid is really imperative for preventing neural tube defects in pregnant women. So has a lot to do with nerve development in the human body and maintenance of that. Our coating on our Vitalia multivitamin and the B complex, the coating itself is folate. Why? because that is the first thing that needs to be absorbed in the stomach when it is broken down. That's where the absorption happens, is in the stomach. So if it makes it into the small intestine, you're not going to absorb the folate. So that's why Shaklee has this patented coating on the B complex and our multivitamin to immediately deliver that folate. So higher bioavailability through science. All right, so that's B complex in a simplistic form. Let's move on to one of my absolute favorite products and some of my clients' favorite products is stress relief complex. So this was specifically developed. I was actually in the company in the time this was developed. I was relatively new in Shaklee, and I remember hearing the doctor who came out to Denver to lecture on how this was developed, and it was absolutely fascinating breakthrough breakthrough science. So this product has really endured all the years and is still the same formulation and still works like gangbusters. What's so fascinating about stress relief complex is not only is it 100% herbal with Shaklee's quality controls, but the effects can be felt within 15 or 20 minutes of taking it. You have this sense of control. It's got this sense of, I got this. So if you are stressing out and you take these, it will put you in a state of mind where you have control over whatever that problem was. So it gives you higher levels of focus, your tension drops, and you just feel like you're in control. So it contains L-theanine, ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has been used for thousands of years. It just happened to be clinically proven by Shaklee to re reduce stress and calm the brain waves. Beta cytosterol, excuse me, and L-tyrosine, both blunting cortisol production in the body and increasing your focus. So if you know anybody who's in a high stress job, I mean, I had a CPA firm that passed these around like M&Ms during tax season. The boss would just buy bottles and have them out for everybody during tax season when all the deadlines were on. Well, that was a great client. So they loved them. They knew they worked and they could get high focus and release the stress without having to go crazy during tax time. So I bet all of you have some kind of story about stress relief complex. Wonderful product. All right, one of our multitaskers that came out is the Cheer Up and Chill Out. So these little gummies are very similar to stress relief complex, except it has a mood and serotonin booster, saffron, and has two of the B vitamins that are related to neurotransmission. That was the two I mentioned earlier. Why people love this? Well, one, it's a gummy, so it's not a tablet. A lot of people really like that. They taste great, and they address both your mood and your stress levels. So this is something that you can have when you have a day of emotional swings or stress or a really busy day. You can have these in your briefcase, your purse, wherever, and have them ready to go for you or the people around you who are driving you crazy. So you can have Cheer Up and Chill Out ready to go. Another great product that is kind of related to how stress affects our digestive systems. This product it's an old standard with Shaklee. We've had this formulation for quite a while, but it is key enzymes for digesting foods that may give you stress in your digestive system otherwise. A lot of people lose the ability to digest lactose because they stop producing lactase. That's in Easy Gest, as well as the rest of these. Some people prefer this because of gas-producing foods. So if you're going out for an incredible Mexican dinner but are worried about the aftermath, uh, this will subside that gas-producing effect of some of those foods. Proteins, carbohydrates, and fats all require special enzymes to break these down. So it's a simple tablet capsule rather, that you can take before a meal and know that you'll have a, uh, a much less stressful digestive incident after eating certain foods. And 'tis the season to indulge on some of these great things that we enjoy. Have Easy Just ready to go, and you'll be thanking me later. Promise you that. Interestingly, you can break a capsule of Easy Just open and sprinkle it on oatmeal. And if you come back later, you'll see how it has broken it down in the bowl. It's a pretty impressive product to see how the enzymes work. Last is our stomach soothing complex, the last product mentioned in our What's New newsletter this month. Stomach soothing complex. This is a little bit different than our drops. So we have stomach soothing drops as well. This one was featured specifically in the What's New newsletter. Peppermint, ginger, fennel seed, and I believe that's pronounced anise. So correct me if I'm wrong. But these all help with the stomach settling with certain things that may upset you. It could be traveling, it could be motion sickness, or it could just be, when you eat a certain thing, you have some upset stomach. So this is a great product for after stressful meals, or if you're traveling and you just can't find the type of diet that you're used to, this may help you get through that. When Jane and I qualified for a Shaklee incentive trip and we were going on to a cruise ship, Shaklee provided everybody with a bottle of stomach soothing complex in a gift bag. That's good old Shaklee, right? And so we all got stomach soothing complex for the motion sickness. And we had some rough waters there, and that came in handy for a lot of people. So, interesting. One more fun fact before I close this off. The stomach soothing complex is approved for health savings account. So if you want to use some of your health dollars for that, stomach soothing complex is one of those approved products for that. All right, folks. Wrapping up here. So if you're depending on what kind of stress you're going under, nutrient depletion, you should be looking at B complex. Daily stress response, you can have stress relief complex ready to go or cheer up and chill out. If you know it's a mood type thing, you might want to have the cheer up and chill out. Stress related gut upset, have your stomach soothing complex. Excuse me. And then if you're in the season of digestive overload, Easy Jest to get you through to the first of the year. And then let's talk about the 5-day reset or the 7-day healthy cleanse next year. Yeah, just give us a call. We'll help you out, get rid of all that stuff. All right, people, there you go. There's our Monday night stress call.
Great info, Scott. Every one of those is in our arsenal.
Thank you.
Both Holden and I use every one of them every day. So
Every day.
I don't know if that's a commentary on the amount of stress we have or our ability to deal with it, but there you go.
Well, I think the people who manage and deal with their stress seem to live a lot longer.
Great.
I think that's part of the longevity factor is your stress levels. So,
There you go.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
all right.
Any comments or
Okay.
questions for Scott?
I use stress relief in the middle of the night if my brain decides to take a
Awesome.
run.
Yes. Good job, Janice. That's actually one of the 3 components for people who are dealing with insomnia or just trouble sleeping. Stress relief
Yep.
complex is one of those. Vital
Yep.
Mag
Oh
is
yeah.
Yeah.
the other one, the
Night.
slow release. And then I've also heard some people have had some good results in insomnia using mood lift.
Hmm.
Curiously, St.
I
John.
take Easy Just with every meal
Good for you.
just because, well, I'm having trouble digesting food. And
Hmm.
so it was recommended that I do that. So I have been in, it's really working well.
Yeah, it's a great product. Easy to take,
Mhm.
not expensive
Mhm.
either for what you get. It's a
Mhm.
very affordable product, you bet. Okay.
All right, gang. Well, everybody have a
Great.
blessed and Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry
I'll
Christmas.
update the calendar for everybody. So you'll see we will not have a call next week on, I believe it's the 29th, that Monday. We'll push it into the new year. So, ciao.